This is Engage New York, Module 2, Lesson 24, Concept Development. Our objective today is I can divide decimal dividends by multiples of 10. Now, this is basically review. You already know what to do when you're dividing by 10. Remember when we were using the place value chart and we're dividing by 10? Yes. So, remember, when you're dividing, does your number actually get bigger?
Smaller.
Right? You're dividing something into smaller parts, right? So does your number get bigger or smaller? Smaller. Because you're dividing something into smaller parts, right? When you're multiplying, you're making it bigger. You're making it bigger by 10 times or 100 times or 1,000 times, right? But when we're dividing, we're breaking things up into smaller pieces, right? So, of course, you're going to have a smaller number. All right. So let's look at our first problem, 54 divided by 10. So I'm gonna draw a little picture over here. So if you'd like to draw it too, feel free. 54, because maybe this might be a new way of understanding the problem. All right, 54 divided by 10. So let's draw little discs. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? And here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is 54, right? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's divide 54. Let's divide it by 10. So let's divide that up by 10. And what does that look like? So now we're going to draw 10. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then now watch me here. This is going to be a point. This is going to be 0.1. 0.1. 0.1. So we're dividing it into 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. So this is 54. We're breaking it up. So our new answer is going to be 5.4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 is 0.4. Yes?
Yeah.
All right. So now, stay with me.
Okay.
Okay. So now, 54 divided by 10. Let's look at that in our place value. So we have 54, and we know that our number is going to move in this direction, right? Our number is moving and becoming smaller. All right, so our number is going to move in this direction, and our number is going to become smaller. So it's going to move how many times? How many times is your number going to move across the decimal? Show me with your fingers. How many times is your number going to move? How many zeros are there? Okay, let's focus. Once. It's going to move one time because there is 1 0, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so our number moves in this direction and it becomes 5.4. Okay, now let's go to 5.4 divided by 10. So let's draw some circles. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's draw the 0.4. 0.4, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Yes? Now we're going to divide that by 10. So this is going to move across the decimal. So if it's, now you're starting at 5.4 and we're dividing by 10, our number is going to move how many times? Show me with your fingers. How many times is the number going to move? Once, correct? So it's going to move one time, right? And now our new number is going to be 0.54, right? Okay. So now over here, this is going to divide up 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then our 4 is going to move to hundredths. 0.01, 0.01, 0.01, 0.01. So this is what you end up with right here. Now, let's go ahead and let's divide 0.54 by 10. So if we're starting here, 0.54, and we're going to divide by 10, how many times is the decimal going to move? I mean, not the decimal. Well, I guess the decimal is going to move and the number is going to move. How many times? Show me with your fingers. You're dividing by 10 again. How many times does the decimal move? Yeah. Once. There's 1 0. So it moves once. Okay. There's a pattern here. So our new number becomes 0.054. Okay, so do that. All right. So now we know that this is 5.4, right? And we know that this became what? 0.54, right? And then this one became 0.054, right? So we know the decimal moves, right? Going back to what we already know. Yes? Okay. Now let's go down. Let's keep going. So 54 divided by 90. Now, this is the part, this is where we're taking it to the next step. We're taking it from what we learned before, and now we're adding on to what we learned before. So now, we know, so write this down. We know that 54 divided by 9 is equal to what? Show me with your fingers. What's 54 divided by 9? Show me with your fingers. You might need 2 hands.
6.
That's right. 6, right? Okay. So let's decompose 54 divided by 90. So let's do it. So might as well, let's make a new problem right over here. 54 divided by 90. And then let's decompose 90. So how do we decompose 90? Let's go 54 divided by 10 divided by 9. Yes! Did you want to say something? Oh. Okay, better? Yes, Megan? I'm not recording right now. I am recording right now. Okay. All right. So, 54 divided by 90, 54 divided by 10 divided by 9. That is the big idea for today. It is going to, each problem in your problem set, you are going to decompose your numbers into smaller numbers to make it easier to divide. That is our big idea for today. All right, so 54 divided by 10. Well, we know to go ahead and first move that decimal over. So we end up with 55.4 divided by, and so now we're going to get rid of that, and now we have just divide by 9. So, hint, trick. Hint, trick. So, 54 tenths. So, let's just make this 54 tenths divided by 9 is going to give us 6 tenths, which is equal to 0.6. That's it. That's it, friends. Also, too, hint, hint, there is one number behind the decimal in this problem. So your answer is going to have how many numbers behind the decimal? 1. That's a hint right there. Okay. All right. Let's go to 54 divided by 90. 5.4 divided by 90. So let's go 5.4 divide by 10 divide by 9. So first, we're going to start out by just moving our decimal one time. And that gets rid of our 10. So we're going to end up with 0.54. Now divide by 9. Yep. Step 1. Get rid of that. Do that division by 10. Step 2. Now we have to divide by 9. But how many numbers are behind the decimal that we're starting with? How many numbers are behind the decimal? Show me with your fingers. How many numbers are behind the decimal? How many numbers are behind the decimal on this problem right here, on here? How many numbers are behind the decimal? Right here, Megan. How many numbers are behind the decimal? No. 2. Okay, so guess how many numbers are going to be behind the decimal on your answer?
2.
Thank you. All right, so now let's decompose this up a little bit more, and let's break this up into 54 hundredths. Let's say 54 hundredths divided by 9 is going to give us 6 hundredths. Oh, hundredths, sorry. Which becomes 0.06. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go 0.54. Divide by 90. Now, let's decompose 0.54. Divide by 10. Divide by 9. Let's start off. Let's get rid of dividing by 10. That means we're just going to move our decimal over once and end up with 0.054 divide by 9. Here's a trick question. What number is this in words? What number is this in unit form like this? What is this? Is it hundredths or is it thousandths, right?
I thought that was impossible to say.
For 54 Thousands. Okay, divide by 9 becomes 6 thousandths, which is very, very small. Okay. Now, question, there became, how many numbers were behind the decimal right here? How many numbers were behind the decimal? Show me with your fingers. Show me with your fingers.
3 fingers.
Excellent. So, how many numbers are going to be behind the decimal in our answer?
9.
Yes, 3. Excellent. Okay. We're going to catch on any minute here. We're just going to jump right in. Okay, here we go. 54. Now, we're just going to whole numbers. Okay, so next, we're going to go 54 divided by 900, and we're going to decompose 900. So let's go 54 divide by, because really and truly, you guys, if you thought about this for a second, do you know 54 would be inside the house and 900 would be the divisor if you had to line this up? This is a whole lot easier to do than trying to do this. We are building toward this right now, okay? So our next step is to decompose. Let's go divide by 100, divide by 9. Okay, so now let's get rid of the 100 and let's move our decimal how many times? Show me with your fingers. How many times are you going to move that decimal? Up here. Look up here. How many numbers? How many times am I going to move my decimal?
2 times.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go once, twice, because remember, my number is getting smaller because I'm dividing it into smaller pieces. So now I have 0.54 divided by 9. Now, what number is this in unit form? It is 54 hundredths, which means it's behind the decimal. Random. Divide by 9. So 54 divided by 9 is going to give me 6. And I'm still going to be sitting in the hundredths. And that looks like in number form. Right? Yes. Yes. All right. Our last problem on this side. Doing the same thing we've been doing. Now, we're going to go, I'm going to use this little piece of open space right here. It's kind of like Orange County. I'm just going to use it up. 5.4 divided by 900. Now, remember, if you were doing this in a typical division problem, the second number is the number that goes on the outside of the division problem. So this makes it very neat and tidy and easy to do. So let's decompose 5.4, divide by 100, divide by 9. So let's start off by dividing by that 100 and getting rid of the 100. We're going to move our decimal how many times? Show me with your fingers.
2.
Megan, we're dividing by 100. How many times? Thank you.
A double.
Thank you. Yes, we're going to move it once, twice. So we're going to end up with 0.054 divided by 9. So what number is this now? It's 54 thousandths, right? 54 thousandths divide by 9, which is going to give us 6 thousandths, which is 0.006. All right. Let's see if you can turn the page, and I want you to show me the 1, 2, 3 steps to take as you do each one of these, and we will come back and check your work. Go. All right. So after the concept development, you are going to take on the problem set. You're going to take your numbers and you are going to decompose them up just the way they've shown you, just the way we learned it. So, you know, this is 24 hundredths divided by 4, right? 24 hundredths divided by 4. You are going to answer that, and then you're going to come over here and do the same thing, but you're going to decompose 40. You're going to divide over here, which you already know. I would break this up into 147 hundredths divided by 7. Then you need to decompose 70. The same all the way down the rest of the page. Then on to A, B, C, and D, you are going to use place value reasoning and the first quotient to compute the second. So based on the fact that 46.5 divided by 5 is 9.3, how is that going to change your answer if you're divide by 50? So you need to be able to write down, explain your thinking. My answer will change because I did this. You're going to write an answer. Write an answer. Write an answer.
Are you going to check it tomorrow?
Yes, I will be checking.
Okay.
Then, number 3, 20 polar bears live in a zoo. In 4 weeks, they ate 9,732.8 pounds of food altogether. Assuming each bear is fed the same amount of food, how much food? So the same amount of food. So they're taking food and what are they doing evenly? Dividing something up evenly. How much food is used to feed just one bear for 1 week? So how many days are in a week? 7. So you have to figure out one bear and then how much food times 7, right? Then the total weight of 30 bags of flour and 4 bags of sugar is 42.6 kilograms. If each bag of sugar weighs 0.75 kilograms, what is the weight of each bag of flour? So you know that whole strategy of decomposing that we just learned? You're going to use the strategy of decomposing here. Okay? That's the big idea here, friends. So, 20 polar bears in 4 weeks eat this all together. Assuming each bear is fed the same amount of food, how many weeks are in 1 month? 4 in 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks. So let's think about this. And you should be able to do this very well so hopefully you just were able to show me these steps. Okay. You were able to decompose these up. These are the steps you have to show. If you do not show these steps, you are not going to get the correct answer. And I mean, like, you actually might get the correct answer, but I'm not going to give it to you because you have to show me the steps of decomposing, that you understand the steps of decomposing. Got it? All right. Excellent job today.